Hello, hello. It's Lori B, and I'm finally getting to the camera to make this video. I've been saying for the last 3 or 4 days that I'm going to make it, and honestly, I could not stop working in it, and I love it, and I hope that it shows how much I love it. I think I started this about 7, 8 weeks ago. And I started with 2 pieces of cardboard, and I did in the groups that I'm in on Facebook, I kind of posted as I went along certain steps, not all of them, just certain steps that I did along the way. And before I start flipping through this baby, I have kind of come to terms with the fact that I do want to do some process videos, how I do it. Some people have been asking me, and at first I was like, oh, hell no, I can't do that. But I'm getting more comfortable with the camera, and I thought maybe I would give it a try. And I really would like, I have gotten a couple of requests, and I would like to know if anybody would like to watch my process videos. And it would, it's nothing, they would be nothing that you haven't seen before. It just my way of how I do it, like rusting, how I work with my lace. I made a few tags this week, and a couple of people asked me about those, what I used, what products I used to make the tags. And I guess I can start doing some short process videos on how I do these things. I won't be starting those. If you're interested, I won't be starting those until after I retire on July 2nd, which is coming up. Hallelujah, in about 4 weeks. So, forgot to turn my phone off. I'll be retiring in about 4 weeks, and then I can devote more time to doing things like that. That's what I want to do. So anyway, let me know if that's something that you would be interested in. And another thing that I wanted to talk about before I open up this book is every once in a while it'll pop up on YouTube or Facebook, the question, what do you make first? Do you make your covers first, or do you make your insides first and then make your cover? And I have always pretty much done my cover first, or gotten the basic cover done, and then once I start working on the inside, I mean, I'll have most of the front done, but when I'm working on the inside, I'll get an idea about something on the outside. And so as I go along, I'll add and add and add to the front and the back. So please excuse my phone. It's really distracting, isn't it? It is to me anyway. So as I think of things, I will start adding, and then I'll go back to the inside. So like I was saying earlier, this is 2 pieces of cardboard, front and back, and then I had this really sweet old book that was falling apart, and I don't know if you can see, it's called Dream Life, and it's a beautiful hunter green, and I found this digital on Etsy, and of course I can't remember who it is. And what I'm going to do is, once I get finished with this flip through, and I've already taken my pictures to list this journal, so once I get done with all the business, I'm going to go back and I'm going to list in the YouTube, in the description box, some of the, well, I'll try to list all the digitals that I used in this journal. And I just loved that this was perfect for the outside outside of this book. And this is cardboard. It was one of the Tim Holtz frames, and it was way too thick. So I just, it's done in layers. So I just peeled off a few of the layers and I made it much thinner. And I used a bunch of distress stains and all that good stuff to antique it up. I found this button on Etsy, and I really had a hard time. I got a few buttons for the outside of this book, and I only wanted to use one. And I also got a jewelry pin, an old jewelry pin that was a B, in the shape of a V. And I had a hard time deciding which one to put on the front, but I pretty much decided to use the crown button because this is the Queen Bee. And, it would be repetitive, I guess, to put another B on the front. So I distressed that up. This was nice and shiny and gold when I got it. And, I had to beat it up some. This is some vintage linens. I believe this was a napkin, dinner napkin. The edge of it, very pretty. I made these little rosettes out of some leftover fabric. This is just fabric strips, some cotton. These are rosettes that I got a while back not online, I got these at Hobby Lobby, and I tea stain everything. So everything in this book has been tea stained. And anything that I use, I've gotten on Etsy or Hobby Lobby, pretty much. Now this right here, and I've mentioned this before in another video, that what this is, all this is those nylon drawstring bags for your wash. That's what this is. And it's super soft, and it gets softer when you wash it and you tea stain it. And I love it. It's strong. I mean, this book has been opened, I don't know how many times, opened and shut. And of course, the more I do that, the more worn it looks, but that's what I wanted. And the same thing with the front of my book and the whole book. The more I handle it, that's why I want to do the covers first, is the more I handle the book, it just naturally wears it a bit. And I'm constantly rubbing on it and making it soft, and that's really the way I like them. So that's what I did with this, and that's really all it is. I think it's a big bag, and it cost about $5. And it's white when you first get it, but I tea stained it, and it tea stained beautifully. Okay. So this has 60 something pages in it. I believe it was 66. This is layered up, by the way. I mean, there's just so many different layers on here, different laces. I really couldn't tell you what order I did it in or anything. This is kind of like an open spine book. There's a piece of lace right here. This book is super strong. It's not flimsy like you would think it would be with cardboard. All right, let's open it. I need to stop rambling. Okay, I got these, I believe it's aluminum. I got these from a seller on YouTube. Hi, Pam, if you're watching. I love them, and I could not wait to use them. They were random words, very random. So it was kind of hard to find one for this book, but I think queen bees are lovely, and that is what this says. And I rusted that up and sealed it, and in a future video I'll show how I did that. I also faux rust. I didn't this one. This is a natural rusting process. I do also faux rust, and I have a piece in here that I'll show you. And they both turn out equally. I love both of them. One's a little easier than the other, and I will say it's this one. Very, very easy to do, but I love these little tags. They're very lightweight, and I thought you could use this as a bookmark. It's attached up here, and you can use it as a bookmark throughout the journal. Here's the first tag that I worked on, and it's just, I just love it. I've got a strip of this lace from somebody, I don't remember. I made a little pocket here, and it's got a lucky coin in it. And this coin was shiny and new, and way too shiny and new. So I'm not sure what it's made out of. It's a very light metal, like aluminum or tin or something. But I went ahead and put it in the rust solution, and it started eating away at it. And I had to file it down with a file because it was quite jaggedy. But there's a bee on there. You can see it more in person. And I also sealed this with some sealer. So I just tucked that right in there, and that's your lucky bee coin. And I think I will do one of my process videos, like I said, on the tags that I did. And these are handmade tags. I like making my own. This is another clip. I love these clips. If anybody knows where I can find some more, please let me know. I rusted these the natural way. This is some of Amy's papers at Hags Hollow, Amy's papers, and what I did was I used well, I'm really throwing down some names here, Patty Pocket's stains on this, as well as distress inks, and I wrinkled it and I tea stained it and all that kind of stuff, and I love it. It's a beautiful color, and it goes really well with the outside of the book. This is another tag I did, and this one, boy oh boy, took me quite a while to do this one, but it was so much fun. And I used just scraps of lace. I used a time card, a blank time card. This is just some, what do you call it, organza? You know, that stuff. I just ripped a hole in it and kept stretching it until it was the size that I wanted. This is another digital from Etsy. There's a little piece of leather that I did the little X's on. And this took forever, but it only took forever because I just got in the zone and I couldn't decide which laces to use, and I was indecisive, but I think it came out really, really well. And I made this pocket. You know, you can buy the white CD covers fairly cheaply in a package of 25, package of 50. And the one that I have that I purchased, a big pack, they were too big. They were like, you know, like this, way too big for the book. So I made my own little CD case that I could use as a pocket for this tag. There's some acetate in there, and this was just white. I used a book page, and I also used cheesecloth and black chalk paint and patty pockets, and this is cardboard, and this is a rub-on, and this was part of the day that I made the tag. So I did make both things in one day, but honestly it took me forever. But I think it turned out really well. This is some fabric that my mother had, and I just have maybe a 10 by 10 swatch of it. It's beautiful. I wish you could see the back. It's gold on the back. It's beautiful, and this is the first time I've ever used it, and I've probably had it for a good 25 years. My mom did a lot of reupholstering in her life, and she had a lot of fabrics, and this was one of them. So these bees are all over the fabric. Just such a pretty fabric. And I did a little bit of slow stitching on it, kind of roughed it up because it was really new looking, even though it's about 25 years old. Just put some other fabric behind it. This is a book page. I believe, yes, I believe I got this on public domain, free public domain. And who doesn't need some bee anatomy in your bee journal? So there that is. Sorry, I'm trying to go fast. This is a valuable bee sting remedy for rheumatism. This was also a printout, which I just distressed. And I'll also show you how I distress. I do it a little differently than other people. And I'm kind of picky about the paper I use, and some papers just don't work well at all. So I'll tell you about that too. I just got these cute little doilies from Rosie. Hi Rosie, if you're watching. Rosie's Craft Shack. Rosie's Craft Shack, I think. I do tea stain my own paper. There is a mixture of Amy papers in here as well as my own. This is natural paper. I keep saying please make me stop. This is paper I got off of Amazon. It's got bits of leaves in it. It's got a lot of fiber in it, and I tea stained it. It's very delicate, so I tea stained that as much as I could. And this is another of Amy's papers. Old receipt. Plenty of places to journal in this book, or draw, or doodle, or write quotes, or add anything you want to. It's pretty full, but it does have room to add some more things to it. I've got some Tracy labels. This is from her latest digital kit, Rather Random Labels, I believe it's called. I've got quite a few of her digis. This is, I love this stuff right here. I don't know what it is. At first when I saw it, I thought it was elastic, like a big, huge, wide elastic. That's what it looks like, but it has no stretch to it. But that is, if you imagine the elastic and the texture of the elastic, that's what it is. Just for a corset, maybe some sort of underclothes. These are all old buttons. It took me like 2 hours to go through my buttons. It takes me a long time to do stuff, guys. It's just some pretty ribbon, a couple pieces of ephemera. This is a pocket there, and this is Lochte paper, I think it's called. I got this on Amazon as well. Very, very pretty natural paper. It feels so good. I did soften it up quite a bit, but it's a very strong paper. This is a cute little button. Let's see if you can see it sparkling. It's plastic, but it's pretty. This is one of those resin dots. Some more ephemera. Here is a glassine bag. I am going to make up some vintage tape. There's a couple of places in here I want to put it. I ripped that, so a piece of vintage tape will be going right here. And there's a couple places in here I want to put it. I just kind of honestly forgot. And inside here, there are more tags, just more tags for you to play with. Anything having to do with bees. So you can add those anywhere you like, or you can keep them in this bag. Sorry for the crinkle. Put that back later. And this is the first thing I made for the book, I believe, this little cluster. This is a fabric sample that came off of a sample book that I bought from Erin in the Adirondacks. She also has a YouTube. It's like linen, very pretty. And this says, "You are enough, 1,000 million times enough." And yes, we are. There's a lace pocket. I was listening to somebody from Australia this morning, and she has the most wonderful Australian accent. And I really wish I sounded like that. But when she says pocket, she says pocket. It's an old clothing tag. A little cluster up there. Some Amy paper. Some extra little places you can journal on the back. Some old stenographer book paper that a friend gave to me. It came from a notebook from her father, from her late father, and I love stenographer tablets. I think I love the paper. And we're about at the end. This is some more of that fabric sample from the book, and just a few pieces of paper that you can journal on the back of. I believe this is the book page. Yes. Busy bees. These are Tracy labels. And we're at the end, and this was my last tag that I did, and I took some pictures and posted them on Facebook, but after that I added some wire, some brass wire that I aged up, tarnished and blackened. So I also used my little paper ruffles underneath. And that's another one that I can show you how to do. There's the back. This is some of that laundry bag material. I also distressed this metal piece, and there's another little piece of resin in there. And this is all just collaged. Really like the way that turned out. It's very grungy, but it fits with the book very well. This is one of my rusted bits. And oh, I did tell you that I would show you my faux rust. So that is back here. Here. So you can see my fingers. That's glue and distress ink. This probably isn't even dry. I did this morning or earlier. Can you see it? So this was like a new number marker. And I did this the fast way. And here is the back. I wanted to keep it kind of simple, so that I could show that pretty hunter green color. And that is it. And y'all, I'm almost at 25 minutes, and that's where I like to be. So, get it? Be. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you would like for me to do some process videos, and I will start immediately working up the courage to do that. But like I said, it would be until, it would be after I retire when I started doing that. I do look forward to it. So I hope that it's something that you want me to do. And I guess that's it for now. I appreciate your patience. If you were waiting for this to come out, I appreciate your patience. I just really could not stop working on it. And I hope that you can see all the love that I put into it. And I will see you next time.